Welcome, fellow horror hounds, and welcome to the latest episode of Talk and Stalk, your unholy home for horror. I'm your host, as always, Barry, and today I'm just really going to be giving my thoughts and talking about the recently released Chucky trailer. Now, I do believe it's scheduled for October, an October release on the Sci-Fi Channel, I believe. October is going to be a pretty exciting time, I think, for horror fans. Obviously, we're getting Halloween Kills. We're getting Last Night in Soho, which is actually, as I've probably mentioned 20 million times before, my most anticipated horror movie of the year. And we're getting this Chucky show, which I'll be honest, I almost forgot about. Now, I'm not the biggest Child's Play fan out there, admittedly. I do quite like the franchise as a whole. I do like the first Child's Play, and I think that, there's been some good sequels. I thought Curse of Chucky in 2013 was actually the best Child's Play film in quite some time. And I even kind of enjoyed Cult of Chucky. By no means great or anything like that, but it steered the franchise in a new direction, one which I wasn't overly keen on, but at the same time, I commend them for trying to do something new. Now, yeah, we got a teaser trailer. I really don't have that much to say in regards to this. It is just a teaser trailer. A lot of scenes are very much blink and you'll miss it, but we do get to hear the great Brad Dourif. We hear that evil, maniacal laugh. Chucky is a horror icon, brilliantly voiced by Brad Dourif. And I will admit, I don't actually hate the remake. I actually thought as horror movie remakes go, I thought it was okay. I don't think it actually deserves the hatred that it gets, as controversial as that may be. I'm always here to give my honest opinion, and I felt that that was actually an okay reboot. Now, it's kind of a weird thing, really, with Child's Play, because we had that remake. I don't actually know if they're going to do a sequel. We had, obviously, Cult of Chucky back in 2017, I believe it was. From what I know, this series is a continuation from that. Now, anyone that's seen Cult of Chucky, knows that obviously he transferred his soul into various dolls, etc. So I don't know if it's still going to go along that route. But I'll admit, it's only a teaser trailer, so we don't get to see much. But I'm mildly excited for this show. I absolutely love Chucky as a character. As I said, I'm not the biggest Child's Play fan out there. At the end of the day, like with most horror films, I think with the Child's Play films, you have to kind of suspend belief that, a 2-foot doll can kill so many fully grown adults and whatever. But it's undeniable that Brad Dourif has cemented himself in that role. Now, from what I can tell of the teaser trailer, Chucky's actually picked up a garage sale, I believe they're called in the US. I think in the UK, they're known as kind of car boot sales here. And then we hear this kind of line of, oh, look, somebody's took the butcher knife. Kind of woodenly spoken, I have to admit. And we just get all these quick snippets. I think it's literally, it's not even a minute long. I think it's something like 20, 30 seconds long, this teaser trailer. But obviously we'll be getting into it. Now, this is being written by Don Mancini, who obviously needs no real introduction to horror fans. He has written every Child's Play film, apart from the 2019 reboot, the remake. Don Mancini's in there. Brad Dourif obviously reprising his role. I believe Jennifer Tilly is also in there as well. Devon Sawa, obviously from Idle Hands, Final Destination. I don't believe his role has actually been established. It's actually been confirmed as to who he's actually playing in this series, sorry. And I also believe Alex Vincent, that played Andy Barclay, obviously from the first two films, and then he obviously appeared in the later movies as well. He's actually involved with this show as well. I'm not actually sure how many episodes it is. I haven't actually looked into it. I'm going to probably go out on a limb and say this could probably be an 8-episode series, 8 to 10 episodes, I reckon, with Chucky wreaking havoc in a small town. Chucky Charles Lee Ray is a character with a lot of personality, and that's what I love. That's what I love about that character. Admittedly, with later sequels, now it did veer more into comedy with kind of Bride of Chucky. I mean, he had one-liners, jokes in Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, and that. But it clearly, Bride of Chucky, I thought was a really good, fun slice of postmodern horror. I really kind of hope that we still get the very essence of horror in this. So, you know, even though I expect Chucky to be churning out some one-liners and all that and whatever, I'm hoping it manages to be. I ideally don't want this to be, me personally, I don't want this to be overly meta. I don't want this to be kind of Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky. Seed of Chucky being the worst film in the franchise, hands down, in my opinion, hands down. So I want this film to actually have its roots in horror still. But obviously, it's not going to be child's play without Brad Dourif churning out some of them lines and all that and whatever. But, you know, with the first Child's Play, what I liked about it was the film certainly took its time in actually getting to see Chucky. Now, we already know that Chucky moves about, but in the first film, when it came out, it's well over the halfway mark when we actually get to see Chucky actually doing what he does. But I'll admit I'm quite excited for this show. I am quite excited. And it is very rare for a slasher movie franchise to actually get the TV show treatment. Now, we had Scream, I know, which obviously ran 3 seasons. I'm not really a big fan of that show, in all honesty. I'm a big fan of the film franchise. Scream, to me, it really shouldn't have been called Scream, but I fully understand why it was called Scream, because at the end of the day, that in itself was a selling point. You attach the name Scream to it, it's probably going to sell. But I wasn't Scream's biggest fan. I thought the second season was certainly an improvement on the first and whatever. But yeah. And then, of course, you know, we've had like Freddy's Nightmares, which is more, it's an anthology series. Every episode is a self-contained story. But of course, Freddy Mania had really kicked in at this point. And, well, Robert Englund had seriously cemented himself in that role. And we had an anthology series, which was, it was okay. It was half decent. But they're the only, there was a Friday the 13th series with literally no connection whatsoever to the movie franchise. Obviously, I think very misleading for a lot of people maybe at the time, but it was actually an okay show. It was an okay show in its own right. So when it comes to slasher series that are actually based, now this is unique in the sense of this is actually set within that film universe. This is a continuation from 2017's film, and we've never seen that. I can't think of a single slasher movie franchise that has ended up having a TV show. Now, I don't actually remember if the Scream TV series was actually set within that same universe in the event of Scream had happened. I really can't remember. But this is kind of unique in that sense, I guess. Now, the image we had of Chucky, there was a recently released image of Chucky, which I've heard, it seems to be quite divisive. Some people really love this image. Some people really don't. I've heard a lot of people online really dissing this image. I have no problems with it whatsoever. I really don't. I know some people are saying he looks quite girly because the hair all looks silky smooth. And yeah, the hair does look a little silky smooth. So what? So what? He looks like Chucky. I have no problems with the image whatsoever, and I'm loving it. I'm actually really liking the look. I loved the look that we got in Bride of Chucky, actually, kind of the battle scarred and all that. I thought he looked awesome, but at the same time, I think, kind of deeply missing the original look of Chucky, you know, before the wear and tear and all that. And that's what this show is presumably going to give us. So I have no problems with the image whatsoever. I know some people out there, like I said, some people really like the image. There are some people out there really hating the image, saying he looks girly, blah, blah, the hair and all that and whatever. I don't see a problem whatsoever myself at all. I thought it was a perfectly good image that they put out of Chucky. And as I said, I think this show I'm actually mildly excited for. As I said, October's going to be a pretty good month, I think, for horror fans. And yeah, I think this is going to the Sci-Fi Channel. I believe there's another channel. I don't actually know where it's going to land in the UK. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to access it or whatever. But I'm hoping, obviously, it does end up getting the DVD/Blu-ray treatment. So yeah, that's pretty much all I really want to talk about. I will follow this up with another when we actually hear more, when we actually get a trailer, you know, something that's a little longer than 20, 30 seconds or whatever. But yeah, so that's all I really want to talk about. Hopefully it's good. I think that the Child's Play franchise overall is not a bad franchise at all, in all honesty. I don't think it's one of the most inconsistent. I think it's certainly had a couple of dips. See the Chucky. But yeah. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot to everyone that listened, and I'll be back again soon to haunt you and torment you. And if you've liked what you've heard, please feel free to like, subscribe, and yeah, all support's appreciated. So yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll be back again soon.